Spartans! What is your profession?
I'm not that far removed from the storm. The heat still lingers, my heart's still warm. I try to change, but the core remains. I'm not that far removed from the flame.
I'm not that far removed from the storm. The heat still lingers, my heart's still warm. I try to change, but the core remains. I'm not that far removed from the flame.
They pushed and pulled like I'm a game to play. Thought I'd crumble, thought I'd stray. I walked away from shadows I knew, but I'm not that far removed from the view.
They threw their stones, I caught them all. Built a wall so I wouldn't fall. Changed my name, changed my tune, but I'm not that far removed from the moon.
I'm not that far removed from the fire that burns, the soul I prove. You can test me, you can try, but I'm still the storm, the unbroken sky. I bury my past, but it won't stay gone. A ghost in the mirror, it lingers on. Try to rewrite, try to improve, but I'm not that far removed from the groove.
I buried the fire, but it still flickers low. They thought I'd crumble, but they don't even know. The echoes of me that I left in the past still rise like a shadow I can't outlast.
They see my face, but they don't see the scars. Every line's a map, a story that's ours. I wear my armor, my heart's subdued, but I'm not that far removed from the crude.
They built their walls, but I've got my tools. Try to make me dance to their shallow rules. I walked away, but the fight's in my veins. Not that far gone from my old hurricane.
They wanted a puppet, but I cut the strings. Tried to clip my wings, but I still sing. I shed my skin, but the scars still show. Not that far gone from the me they used to know. I'm not that far removed from the fire that burns, the soul I prove. You can test me, you can try, but I'm still the storm, the unbroken sky.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning? Today is Monday, June 23rd, 2025. I am Techo Traff. We are engineered to win. This is the Coffee and Kata Morning Show. We are getting into our large language models and AI. We're going to be exploring today, continuing to explore Google Colab and Hugging Face. We started on it last week, Wednesday. We didn't have a show last week, Monday, but we started last week, Wednesday, trying to use some stuff, trying to figure it out. You know how we do here. We are here to learn. When we're live, we're learning. And we are figuring things out. We are in it to win it. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I'm Techo Traff, engineer to win. Or as some of my bestest friends in the whole wide world like to say, I do my best to annoy you to success. I'll take it. I will happily take it. Sorry, not sorry. All right, so let's jump into the show. Real quick announcements. We are going to be premiering at noon Eastern time today. I'm going to be talking about how you must bet on yourself. You must invest in yourself. So check it out. I will be in the chat with you all talking about it. Come interact, leave me comments. I share my experience last week and how I had an epiphany on like I must continue to invest in myself. So check that out. Betting on me. And I also want you to bet on yourself as well. Because if you don't, then who will? All right. So that's what's coming up. Tomorrow night, we're going to be going live, tech Q&A. Questions, answers, you can call in. I'll figure out if we're going to be doing any additional work. We're probably going to be making sure that we use up the rest of our lovable credits before the re-up man comes around tomorrow night. That's probably how I'm going to start most of our night shows, because in case I have any credits left, then we got to put that work in. So other than that, you know how we do, tech Q&A, all of that good stuff. I have some crazy videos lined up for you guys coming this week, and I had an amazing sprint Scrum night yesterday. Sprint review, sprint retrospective, sprint planning with my tech barbarians, and I have because look, it was way too much time and effort for me to have to edit those, like to chop up the sprint review to be by itself, for available for free, and then have to get the whole Scrum night and then cut out the breaks. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna upload them straight how they were, so you can have the full experience. Even when there's silence, you can just fast forward through that, because we're taking 5 minutes to share our thoughts and document and everything like that. So I'm just gonna upload it as is, and then you do what you do with it. That's gonna be available for all the Patreon members. All right, so it is what it is at this point. So, with that being said, let's get to work. Do me a favor, if you have not done so already, which I know you have, but if you haven't, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know every time we go live, and drop new content as well. TickleDrop.dev. Sign up for access for exclusive content like the sprint review that's going to be dropping. Tomorrow morning. And you know what? I'm just going to take the whole meeting that I had with Rod Brown, and you know what? No, I'm gonna chop that one, because that one it was really long, had some really good segments. I'm gonna chop that. I'm not gonna put the whole 2-hour interview all in one piece. I'm gonna chop it up, put that available on the Patreon as well as on the YouTube members section. So I'm working on that. I still have to work on Magnetar's federal employment presentation. The issue with Magnetar's presentation is that he had all sorts of personal data in there that I have to chop up and blur out. It's a whole mess. So that's why that one's taking a long time, and I just don't have the time to put into cutting that up. So I'll get there. Maybe when I go when I'm out of town, I'll be able to cut up those videos. It should be in a couple of weeks. I can cut up those videos, get them uploaded and scheduled, ready to go. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Anyways, let's get to work. Right. So when we left off last week, we were trying. Let me share the screen. Right. We're gonna go over to here. So this is the Google Colab, right? We were trying to get the. So we were trying to use the. What do you call that? We were trying to run. We were trying to run to create this image. We're trying to run this right here, right? But we had an error saying that it was out of memory, because the next cell will only work on a powerful GPU box like A100. So I wanted to get that to work, but then it timed out. So the error that we ended up getting when I was trying to do everything is out of memory. So I'm wondering if it was trying to do it on that T4 box as opposed to that T. So yeah, I think so. So let me see, change runtime, and so want access to premium GPUs, purchase additional compute units. So let me see what happens if I click on here, right? Let's see, 100. If I pay $9.99 a month, I will get 100 compute units per month, faster GPUs, more memory, terminal access. I can do a pay as you go, Compute units expire after 90 days. Purchase more as you need them. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the street cleaner just passed by, so it's kind of loud. So no subscription, pay only for what you use. I'm gonna go with whether you're a hobby. I probably, just to try it out, I'm gonna go with the $9.99. Because I don't know how often I'll end up using this, but like I'm gonna talk about in the video today at noon Eastern time, betting on you, investing on yourself. So this $10, I spent $10 to buy my kid some dinosaurs yesterday. We went to the store. He saw some dinosaurs. He loves dinosaurs. I spent $10 to buy him some dinosaurs. So I can easily, if I could spend $10 for him to get some dinosaurs, I can easily spend $10 for me to get 100 collab compute units, and that'll last me a while, at least 90 days, and I'll make sure I'll use them in 90 days. So I'm definitely gonna bet on myself right now by getting those by getting that right. So now check out the notebook to see all your pay as you go benefits in action. All right, so perfect. Let's see, sign up successful. All right, let's go. All right, we're back at it. It's loud. We got my guy Chris Parks in the building. What's up, Chris? How are you doing? Chris says, let me read this one first. Chris says, morning, folks. Why is it going slow? Oh, see, they always get me. They always get me with that. All right, let me get this up here. Let's fix that. Oh my goodness. I tell you, just can't get good software nowadays. There we go. Let's go with that. All right, that's good. Got Chris Parks says morning, folks. Good morning, Chris. How are you doing today? Hopefully everything is going well for you. And Chris also says, oh my goodness, so small. There we go. That's much better. Says, do you know any apps that take meeting notes minutes? I'm trying to automate that part of my job. So I think it depends on what. There's two things. So it depends on what tool. Like if you're using what do you call it? Zoom, or if you're using Meet, or you're using Microsoft Teams, or if you're using like Google Meet. There are some tools. I'll show you the one that I use. But the other aspect of it is the company that you work for going to allow you to use it, right? I know Slack. I keep saying Slack. Slack has it too, but Slack has do have AI notes now for meetings. Zoom has AI notes for meetings. I don't know much about Microsoft Teams, but I personally use. I'll show you what I use. I use Read. I use Read.ai. And with Read.ai, it takes notes for all of my meetings. It has like breakdowns. So it has like all the meetings that I have. And it sends it to my Slack for feedback. But I use this personally for the meetings that I have. But you have to you have to see what's going to be approved from like whoever you work for. And I think, if I remember correctly, you work for the federal government, so they might have more restrictions on what you can use. You might have to get some approval. But I use Read.ai. But if you're using Microsoft Teams, if you're using Zoom, if you're using Slack, there might be some built-in tools for that. Let me see. Rod Brown what's up, Rod Brown? Says $10 is a drop in the bucket. Look, in my candid conversation, I started off saying how I finished a live stream last Thursday and I was hungry. I went to Wendy's. I got 2 Baconators without the bun, and it came out to like $18. I was like, $18? Good Lord. But if I can waste $18 in about 30 minutes, then $10, $20 for software that's actually making me productive, Wait till you see my video on Wednesday. Wait till you see my video on Wednesday. It's going to be crazy. We got Kay Cooper in the building. What's up, Kay Cooper? Says good morning, Tickle Drop and the chat. Good morning to you as well, Kay Cooper. So happy to see you here. How is your weekend, Kay Cooper? Rod Brown says Teams has built-in note-taking capabilities depending on if your company allows it. Exactly, right? It all matters.
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
Oh my God. Shout out to Chris Parks with that $1.99 super chat, $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, so if the company allows that's the key part of it. If it allows. So Chris says, allow what? Someone once told me it's better to ask for permission later. I think it was either your Magnetar. Look, I hear you. However, when your job is like, when it's about your job, especially when if you're working for the federal government, you gotta be a little bit careful with that. It's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness rather than permission in the private sector, but especially, now they try to get y'all up and out of there, so you got to be careful. All right. And let's see, you got and Chris had said appreciate you too, thank you so much. And Rod Brown says I'm still fighting for my life. Oh my goodness, Rod. but look at the bright side, Rod. You're at 8.6 views on that video though. Was it worth it? I think so.
Bruh.
And K Cooper says very relaxing weekend. How was our weekend? My weekend was really, really good. Very, very productive. Some great meetings. We had a really good meeting in the Bag Chasers Patreon or Discord on Saturday night, talking about agile and stuff like that. Great live streams over the weekend. Great content coming out this week. I got a lot of work done. It was great. And I also went to a jiu-jitsu competition. My 16-year-old headache at jiu-jitsu, he competed over the weekend. He dominated, so it was awesome. I'm gonna try to bring him on the jiu-jitsu channel on Sunday so he can review his matches and share what happened. It was a crazy ending to the final match, so I'm gonna try to bring him on. But it was awesome. It was a really, really good weekend. Very productive. Rod Ross says it's now at 9.3K. What? Yo, I looked at I was scrolling because like it shows up in one of the computers, and I was scrolling. It said 8.6 when I looked at it like 2 hours ago, and now it's at 9.3. Oh my God, that is crazy. That is great. Man, you get a round of applause right now. That's crazy. Shout out to you. That video was crazy. That was good. But hey, fight the good fight. All right. Let's get back to work. All right. So now that we paid our $10 for our 100 what do they call them, credits or something like that, to get our faster GPUs. Now we are gonna go back over here, and I'm going to maybe I have to refresh. Let me see if I go back over here and I say change runtime. Oh, look at here. So we're gonna change that to the A100. That's why it didn't work last time. Disconnect and delete runtime. All right, so let's do this. And let me cancel. Let me see. Is there anything else I needed over here? So the Nexo will work only with a powerful GPU box like an A100. So we're gonna do A100 because we paid for it. We invested in ourselves, right? I always tell you guys, invest in yourselves. Like, it's so important. Like, $20 a month. When you guys see my video on Tuesday, or not Tuesday, on Wednesday for our software explorations, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So we have our more powerful box. The selected GPU type was not what? L4. What's the L4? All right, hold on. What is it? I didn't want an L4. They said I needed like an A1. All right, so Is let's do some. See, but these are the rabbit holes you always end up going down. Is Google Colab A100 equivalent to L4? No, the NVIDIA A100 GPU available in Google Colab is not equivalent to the L4 GPU. The A100 uses the Ampere, while L4 uses the newer. Oh, the newer. I like new. I like new. L4, the L4 focuses on AI interference, multimedia processing, and real-time application, making it more energy efficient and suitable for edge. All right, okay. You got me, right? The A100 is primarily designed for high-performance AI training and complex simulations, excelling with large data sets and advanced models. Okay, I think the L4 might work for this. Let's try with the L4. Let's see what the L4. So the memory, the A100 comes with more memory, 40 gigs or 60 gigs, than the L4. Okay. I think we should be all right though. Cost and energy efficiency is a premium energy consuming GPU, where the L4. Let's try the L4. If we can save some of our credits, you got. Oh my God, I'm in trouble now. I'm telling you, I'm after these tokens. I am after these tokens. So now I keep buying. I keep consuming these tokens, and I keep wanting to. Anyways, I know I have to start the show. Hello, my name is Teco Trouf, and I have a problem. I am a token fiend. I just purchased 100 tokens from Google Colab to have more powerful GPUs. All right. So let's give this a run. Let's kick this off. Actually, no, I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna change the prompt. I don't care about a futuristic class. I want to say, okay, what type of image do I want? I want a I have one. A New York subway. Where Spider Man is fighting a large New York rat, which would be the size of a lion in other regular areas, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. And we're gonna. All right. So that's. Why is this? Let's run that. Can we run that? All right. Okay. So we might have to go and run this again. Okay, yeah, we have to run this again because we changed our box, right? So we're using the L4, so we have to run this again because everything got disconnected. So let's run this, and then we're gonna run this again because everything has to be done over on the actual box. All right. So let's get that. And while that's happening, let's check the chat. Rod Brown says we are in AAA meeting, and I respond with "Hi, Teco Trouf." exactly. You see, you got it. Look, at least this addiction will make us more productive. Okay. Yesterday on our live stream, I was so out of it. I didn't even set the timers for our working segments, and I was just on Lovable writing, like adding some more features to that homeschooling app. It was a total minute. I probably spent like 40 minutes working on that, but it was awesome though. It was awesome being productive, getting things done. You know how we do. Let's have healthy addictions. Let's be addicted to winning. All right. So let's get all right. So that's done. Pip's dependency resolver didn't currently. Okay, whatever. But you have all right. So it says this behavior is the source of the following dependency conflicts. Requires. But you have. Oh, okay. So this is old course. Let's update this dependency to this one. Hopefully that works. Let's install that. Sometimes these older courses And this is the tricky part about taking these Udemy courses, is that sometimes they can get a little outdated. So we just have to go and make sure that we are doing our. You saw how I just went and I did this research over here to compare the A100 versus the L4, and we got some more information that we can make decisions. So using all the tools that are available to you, such as ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Manus, whatever, like Perplexity, making the most of all of these tools. All right, so now this passed, okay? Now we're gonna run this to get our Hugging Face in there. Ooh, did I do that? Okay, cool. I almost ended the stream by mistake. All right, we got that. And now, going on this a little bit. Now we're gonna say, all right, you're gonna try to run this again. Why is this torch thing not working? Only a single torch library can be used to register the namespace. Please put all your definitions in a single torch library block. What does that mean? Okay, so let's go back and check over. Are we connected or not? All right, we're connected. Change runtime, Python. We got Python. All right, let's look up what this means. View problem. So now I'm gonna search for this. See what that means. Custom torch. Let's see. I get let's close that. Please put all your definitions in a single torch library block. If you're trying to specify implementations using torch library, which can be duplicated, if you really intended to define operators or a single namespace, it doesn't make any sense. Let's take it off. Okay. Import torch. Import torch. Latest registration at the torch package contains data structures. Okay, so it has a CUDA counterpart that enables you to run your tensor computations on NVIDIA GPUs with compute capabilities. Okay. Not sure what's going on here. We have that. But let's go to, let's see some things. Let's check here. When trying to import torch, so when you chat ChatGPT, look it up. When trying to import torch and Google Colab, I'm getting this error. It's a known issue that usually occurs when conflicting or multiple versions of PyTorch or its internal components loaded, especially in environments like Google Colab, where some PyTorch components are pre-installed. Importing conflict libraries like these, re-importing or reinstalling PyTorch mid-session. Simplest fix, click runtime, restart runtime, rerun your notebook without reinstalling. Okay, so let's try that one. Runtime. Go to restart session. So that is restarting. As you see here, what does the Gemini button do? Oh, okay. All right, let's see. So it's restarted. Let's run this again. Okay. Allegedly, we should disregard this. All right, now it went through. So now let's go run this again. Okay, so now it's going through. I have no idea what happened, but ChatGPT was able to help us to restart that. So restart the runtime. This torch thing got all mixed up. So now let's see if it's going to give us, if it's going to generate this image for us on the L4 box. And it's using a flux pipeline from a pre-trained Black Forest Labs model. If we go to Hugging Face real quick, while this is doing its thing, and we search for this model, this model is 12 billion parameters, rectified flow transformer capable of generating images from text descriptions, cutting edge output quality, and competitive prompt following, matching the performance of closed source alternatives. So then if you wanted to use this model, you would have to, like, let's say you're bringing an application, right? And you don't want to use a model that is like something that you have to pay for, right? Like where, let's say a Mid Journey or the DALL-E, you want to use your own model, then you could have it. You need the servers for it to do it on, like these Google Colab servers that we just used, and you'd have to direct it to, like, use this model, but you need to use it. You need to have it running on these powerful servers and able to generate those images. I don't even know how much that would cost, to be honest with you, but something to look into at some point. All right, let's see what this is doing. It is going through doing all these things. Let's see if this L4 model is going to be powerful enough, because if it's not powerful enough, then we're going to need that A100. But this is a really powerful machine where it has 24 gigs of memory. I know the other one, the A100 has 40 gigs of memory and 180 gigs of memory, but this should do it though. This is pretty powerful. Everything's installed. You need to add prefix space. The tokenizer needs to be converted from store tokens. Let's see, is this done yet? Not done yet. It's still spinning through, executing. It's been doing it for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes now. Connecting to, why is it still connecting? Once that's done, all right, here, okay, out of memory, jeez. Says try to allocate 18 megs. GPU 0 has a capacity of 22.16 gigs, of which 13 is free. Of the allocated memory, dang, it wasn't even able to do it. That's crazy. That must be a really, really powerful image. This NVIDIA GPU, oof, it's the real deal. So let's say can I get that? Why can I not get the A100? Let me try again. Save. Did I get the A100? Let's disconnect, delete runtime. I want the A100. All right, connect to a host. All right, so let's try that. And we're gonna do this again. Look, I want it to work, right? It says the GPU. Why is it not available? I want this one. The type of GPUs and TPUs that are available vary over time. This is necessary for Colab to be able to provide access to the resources free of charge. You can access premium GPUs subject to availability by purchasing. Subject to availability. So you had me upgrade, and then you say I can't get it. Not cool. Not cool at all. So let's say Google Colab A100 GPU not available. And its availability can be limited. Here's why you encounter not being available: free tier limitations, paid tier, high demand, allocation priorities. If you're using the free tier, it's highly unlikely you'll get access to A100. If you have a paid, ensure you have sufficient compute units. Consider that demand. How many compute units does it take to use the A100? It's annoying. Let's go to here. How many compute units to use A100? 15 compute units per hour. Oh, that's way more than enough than we need. However, we just can't get to it. That's the problem. V100 GPU. So what if we, all right, so I'm going to say, I'm going to search for this model and chat GPT. I'm going to say, what Google Colab GPU would work with this. So here's what works best for the GPU. P100 occasionally. This one. I don't see. Because when you try to, for some reason, running it on this one does not seem to get it. Connect to a host. Let's go. Let's connect first. Let's see what happens when we connect. So we're connected, right? And we run this. That makes it through. Perfect. We run this. We're good. Out of memory. Try to allocate GPU 0. All right, so view problem. So I'm gonna say should, if I use, let me try to use Gemini within here. Should the L4 what do they call it? Runtime be able to run this model? Let's see what Gemini says. I think it should, but who knows? Who knows? Based on the error message you received, and the note in the markdown requires a powerful GPU like A100, it's unlikely that L4 would be sufficient to run that model. And the model appears to be too large or computationally intensive for available resources on your runtime. But we can't. All right. Is there any similar model like the A100 that it can run on, since the A100 is not available? It says yes, there's a similar model that can run on L4. I can modify the code to cell to use Stability AI SD Turbo model, which is mentioned in the notebook, and is an example that runs on free T4, which has similar. I don't want that model. I don't want that model. I want to, because look, that model is gonna look like this crappy image over here. I don't want this ugly image, right? I'm not happy. I am not happy at all. Because you don't even have access to that model. I mean, to the GPU. Let me say, I meant a similar runtime that would run this. That could handle if the A100 is not available. I want the best, all right? I want the best. Is quite large and resource intensive as indicated by the out of memory error. While the A100's recommended runtime, other high memory GPUs like V100 or A10 might potentially handle it, though success is not guaranteed and could depend on other factors like batch size, memory usage. Unfortunately, there isn't a guaranteed readily available alternative runtime in Colab that can definitely run this model without potentially encountering similar memory issues if the A100 is not available. You could try switching over to a V100 or A10 runtime if they become available to see if they can handle it, but it's important to be aware that they might still run into memory limitations. I'm so disappointed. I don't even see the V100. Whatever. I'm so upset right now. I'm just gonna go away. I'm just gonna take this little prompt of mine. Oh, it even got rid of my New York prompt. That sucks. I'm so unhappy right now, I must say. Oh no, it's okay, never mind. It's still there. That's still there. I'm just gonna, go down to this stupid prompt over here, to this ugly older model. and pass it in here. And we're going to do this on the L4. And I'm just going to run this one right here. As you can tell, I'm very, very disappointed right now. Very disappointed. Heartbroken, honestly. All right. It's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. And then we do this. See how bad that is? This is terrible. This is ugly. Oh my God, you suck. However, this explains why Midjourney charges generating images with Gemini, with ChatGPT, because they need really, really powerful models. And this shows why data centers are so important. I don't think you'd be able to power this A100 server at your house just because of how powerful it is. So that's why they have these data centers. They're popping up all over the world. Really, really important. Now is the time that you have to learn DevOps, learn AI, learn software engineering.
Real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I'll keep trying to see if I can get access to this A100. I don't know if that's gonna happen. If not, it is what it is. It is what it is. But we're gonna wrap it up for today. We will be back tomorrow night. Actually, we're gonna be back at noon for our candid conversation, talking about investing in yourself, betting on yourself. And then we're going to be back live tomorrow night, continuing to work, fighting the good fight, all of that good stuff. But that's it for today. Do me a favor, if you have not done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button every time we go live and drop new content as well. TechCoach.dev. Sign up today. Sign up for free. Get access to exclusive content. Want to thank on my way out, Rod Brown. Keep up the good work. Kate Cooper, thank you so much for stopping by. I really, really appreciate you. Chris Parks, thank you as well. Great question. Thanks for super chat. All of that good stuff. But I got to get to work. Thank you guys. I will see you guys in various chats throughout the day. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
I try to live what they let go, away to dreams they'll never know. But a drowning soul can't save the tide, and now I see I must step aside.
I fought till my hands turned to stone, carrying battles that weren't my own. They swore they'd stand but turned away, left me to bleed in the fray.
I held the line as long as I could, fought for the spark they misunderstood. They whispered dreams they never choose, said they were in but lived to lose. I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout.
I wanted to see your colors fly, but you clipped your wings and let them die. You crave the fall, not the fight to win, a war within that you let begin.
I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout. I saw the fire dim in their eyes, promises buried under their lies. They wore the crown of fleeting belief, but ran from the throne when it brought grief. Oh,
I tried to carry your weight on my back, but your shadow was a heavy attack. You disappeared when the fire burned high, left me screaming at an empty sky.
I wanted the victory more than they, but you can't chase stars for those who stray. So I lay down the sword and walk away. The battle's lost, they chose decay. I can't fight for you no more. Knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out. Your silence echoes a deafening shout. Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reach my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.
Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reached my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.